All right, let's just get right into it. We really need to talk about how you're using AI agents. Because, let's be honest, most of you are doing it completely wrong. Today, we're going to move way past building little AI teams. We're going to learn how to build AI corporations.
Look, if you are still the one in the driver's seat, telling your AI agent what to do at every single step, well, congratulations. You haven't actually automated a thing. You've just created a brand new, high-maintenance, full-time job for yourself. The whole point of this is to build systems that manage themselves, right? Systems that delegate and check their own work and get things done without you babysitting them. So the real question is, how do you finally get out of the way? How do you fire yourself from that job?
Okay, let's start with a little bit of tough love. The problem probably isn't your AI, it's you. The way we're all interacting with these tools is just fundamentally broken, and it all starts with what I like to call the AI intern problem. By now, we've all kind of settled in. No serious developer actually thinks AI is just going to magically do their job for them. The general idea is that AI is a tool, a really powerful assistant. But that's usually where the thinking stops, and, well, that's where the problems start. We were promised this vision of a senior co-pilot, right? An expert partner who's always one step ahead. But what we actually got feels a lot more like a clumsy, super eager intern. Brilliant 1 second, and then just completely useless the next. And it's this gap, this chasm between expectation and reality that's driving everyone crazy. And this intern, oh boy, it makes all the classic rookie mistakes, doesn't it? It'll just invent a library that was deprecated back in 2019, or it'll try to be helpful and refactor your critical login flow into a giant security vulnerability. And my personal favorite, it wastes an hour making helpful changes to stuff that's completely out of scope when you just asked it to fix a simple typo. So what do? We blame the model. We say, it's just not smart enough yet. But that's totally the wrong way to look at it. The problem isn't its raw IQ. The problem is our complete and total lack of clarity. The intern is clumsy because its manager, and yeah, that's you, is giving absolutely terrible instructions. So to fix this, we need a huge shift in our mindset. We have to stop acting like a prompter who's just trying to guess the magic words and start acting like a real manager who specifies clear, unambiguous work. And this brings us to the core idea here, specification-driven development. I want you to forget about all those prompt engineering tricks. This is about treating your interaction with an AI not like you're casting a magic spell, but like it's a formal, structured process of delegation, like you would with an actual employee. The best way to think about this is so simple. Imagine you're onboarding a brand new junior developer. You wouldn't just walk over and say, hey, build the login page. No way. You'd give them a detailed spec, you'd point out all the potential traps, you'd provide examples. We have to start applying that exact same discipline when we work with AI. So what makes a good spec? Well, it breaks down into 4 key pillars. First, you need to define not just the objectives, but also the non-goals. Tell it what not to do to prevent that annoying scope creep. Second, give it critical context, all the business rules and architectural stuff it could never guess on its own. Third, set firm boundaries. I'm talking a literal do not touch list for your critical files. And finally, and this is huge, define your acceptance criteria. Tell the AI exactly what done looks like. All right, so now you know how to manage one AI intern. That's a good start. But if you really want to scale, you have to stop thinking about a single agent and start thinking about building a whole corporation. And inside a corporation, hierarchy isn't a bad word. It's absolutely necessary. Let me just be super clear about this. The flat organization is dead. It didn't work in the human world, and it is definitely dead in the world of AI agents. If your agents don't have a manager, they're just a bunch of brilliant interns running around in circles. It just doesn't scale. So let's look at the difference here. Most agent systems, right out of the box, run sequentially. Agent A does its thing, then passes the work to agent B, and so on. It's a simple assembly line. But a hierarchical process is different. You have a manager agent that delegates work to specialized worker agents. And this is the key part. It actually validates their results before anything moves on. So what does this manager agent actually do? Well, it's not just a glorified traffic cop. It handles intelligent task delegation, giving the right job to the right specialized agent. It's also your quality assurance, handling result validation, and it orchestrates the entire workflow, making the whole system way more efficient and capable of handling complex problems. And you have to remember this. This kind of scalable system does not happen by accident.
The default setting for most of these frameworks is sequential. You, as the architect, have to make an intentional choice to build a hierarchy. You have to tell your system to operate like a real company.
But here's the thing. Once you've mastered all this, once you've built your AI corporation, you're going to face one last really tricky challenge. And it's all about the difference between just authoring code and truly owning it. Charity Majors, the CTO of Honeycomb, she's been warning everybody about this exact thing. There's a real danger in becoming just a supervisor, someone who only delegates tasks but never actually does the work themselves. And here's the trap, laid out plain and simple. AI is making code authorship, the actual act of typing on a keyboard, incredibly cheap. It's almost free. But code ownership, the deep, gut-wrenching responsibility for that code when it breaks at 3 a.m. in production, that is becoming absolutely priceless. And this leads to a really dangerous paradox. See, to write a great spec, you need to have a deep, up-to-date technical understanding. But if all you ever do is write specs and let the AI do all the real coding, that very expertise you rely on is going to start to fade. You'll lose touch, and you'll get worse at your job. So what's the solution? It's about learning when to drive in lower gears. For all the simple, boilerplate stuff, sure, let the AI drive in high gear, full speed ahead. But for the really new, complex, mission-critical parts of your system, you have to downshift. You write the pseudocode. You implement that tricky algorithm by hand. You have to stay the driver, not just become a passenger. The AI is your engine, not your chauffeur. So as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear the whole conversation is shifting. The question that's going to define our careers in the next couple of years, it's no longer the simple one we started with. It's not, can AI write code anymore? The answer to that is obviously yes. The new question, the one that will separate the good engineers from the great ones,